I figured, I know this is not normally a week that I'd be posting a video, but I figured I'd do a bonus video this time in between my my weekly reviews and discussion videos. This video I'm going to go over some pros and cons, red flags, green flags, positive and negatives, whatever you want to call it, of working here at RTI as a lease purchase driver. Now, if you come on as a company driver, I can't help you. I'm just kidding. I could probably help you. I don't know. I'm a lease purchase driver, so I can tell you from my experiences as a lease purchase driver, all these videos are done off of my experience as a lease purchase. I know company is very much different, and company, so far of all the company drivers I have actually met, there's about 50-50 down the middle between those who like being here and those who are ready to leave. So with that being said, that's kind of the same thing with the lease purchase drivers. There is a lot of successful lease purchase drivers here, and there is a lot of unsuccessful lease purchase drivers here at RTI since I've been here. There are lease purchase drivers like myself, and there are a few others that are, as one of them famously puts, one minor inconvenience away from leaving the company. Jokes about it all the time. I don't think he'll actually do it unless something comes along that pays extremely well and he gets to have the truck he actually wants. Ooh, there's a little shine off the truck there. Oh, speaking of that as well, I'm in South Dakota, and it is beautiful weather, if you can see. Clear skies. Earlier today, it was a little cloudy. Supposedly a chance of rain, but it's not hot, which is nice, because I have had nothing but hot weather besides these last 3 days. I've been up here in South Dakota, Montana, and northern Idaho, and all of them have been pretty cool for weather-wise. So yeah, all right. So I guess the only way to start this is I'm going to go over the negatives and the positives, and I guess I'm going to start off with the negative. For me personally, a huge negative is the way the maintenance program is ran, or at least on the shop end of things, the way the maintenance program is ran. Now, RTI has a maintenance program. If you come on and you get a truck as a lease purchase, if your truck is under 350,000 miles, they cover everything on the truck besides a small deductible. Tires, same thing. Tires are throughout the lease, though. You have a deductible at $250 that I am aware of. I may be wrong on that one. I'd have to relook at my lease. But for under 350,000 miles, you are under full coverage. So all you're paying for is the deductible on things that are normal wear and tear, and things that would be normally covered under, let's say, if you went out to the dealership and bought a truck. A lot of dealerships now are offering, because they need people to come in and buy their trucks, they're offering oil changes and shit. They're A's and B services, at least the B service, for a discounted price. So little tiny things like mud flaps, just random stuff here and there, RTI will charge you the full rate of whatever the part is, plus the $92 an hour rate. Now, that is cheaper than most places. There's only one other company that I know of, well, technically two companies that I know of, seeing how they're both together, that charge less than that for a hourly rate for their lease purchase drivers, but they also charge a hell of a lot less for the trucks. They also are making you have to pay for everything here at RTI for at least the first 350,000 miles on the truck. They do not make you pay for everything. Now, once you're over the 350,000 miles, you are now paying the deductible plus the parts plus the labor. You're paying it all of it. Currently, the way they have it set up is even after you are no longer on the full coverage and you're over that 350,000, they don't have to tell you a damn thing that they're doing to your truck. They can just replace it and charge you, which is a huge red flag in my opinion. Huge. They are currently, what I have been told by the manager there at the Kansas City shop, he is in the attempt to try to change that. He is trying to make it to where if you are in the escrow portion of the maintenance program instead of the full coverage, you will at least get a list of things. They're still gonna, by the sounds of it, they're still gonna replace it whether you give permission or not, but they're at least gonna give you a list of things and tell you exactly what's being replaced. Currently, they don't do that. Currently, they can just replace whatever the fuck they want, excuse my language, and you get told about it later when you get the charge. So that is a huge negative in my opinion. There's also the fact, obviously, the shops around with RTI seem to have and I don't even think it's them, I think it's a company-wide. The company-wide seems to have there is a dedicated account that they have that is at, that when they come into a shop, and I've had to deal with it 3 times now while I'm in the Kansas City shop, that this driver has shown up. I tell him, hey, I've been hoping my truck's gonna get done soon. I've been in here for a while. And the driver goes, yeah, well, you're going to be in here even longer now because I'm here and I'm on this dedicated account, so I take priority over you. And the company pretty much makes that a legit thing. Whenever these drivers come in that are dedicated on this account, they get priority over everybody else. Whether that one of the driver that just got bumped has been sitting there all flipping day waiting to get into the shop, or has been in the shop, and then they pull the mechanic that was working on your truck and they put it on the other person's truck. And these said drivers seem to have that attitude like they are the top shit and they are better than you and they are better than everybody else in the company. And there's only one person that I've seen in the company that's on the office, not even somebody, office / shop side, who has kind of nipped that in the butt and said, yeah, I don't care. I'm going to put somebody on you, but you're not top dog, so sit down and shut up, basically. Other than that, I haven't seen any resistance from that. So that's a big major red flag if you come on over to RTI. Obviously, you need to know as well that you are going to be paying out the ass for your truck. As you have seen in a previous video, I am if I go the full term of the lease, we'll be paying $156,000 on this truck, which is a lot. Especially when you can get a brand spanking new one, as you saw in my video. Or if you are already an RTI driver and you're on the RTI Facebook group, as you saw, you can get a brand spanking new International LT for the exact same price. So that's a pretty big red flag for me as well. With that being said, though, that I will discuss that here in a little bit. There is a positive to, unfortunately, that high amount. Another red flag for me in my experience is the fact of where I live. I am dictated to when I can go home, and that is normally in the early week, which is I have kids at home. I have shared custody. I see my kids whenever I go home, so on and so forth. During the summer, it's fine for me to go home on earlier in the week, Sunday through Wednesday or whatever. During the school year, yeah, I know. So that's, for me personally, that's a red flag. Where I live, they have an extremely hard time to get you home, unless it's on the early week, because of the customers that they have. Now, they are waiting for a DC to get built in Napa, which will help wise with getting me home, but will hurt me wise on miles, because that cuts my miles on getting myself home. So it'll be very interesting to see how that goes. They do gripe whenever I ask for being home on a Thursday and having a Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. They will very much make sure that you are aware, at least in my experience. Weekend staff, even my driver manager, has made it very apparent of showing their annoyance of me wanting to be home during the end of the week, and it makes it extremely hard for them. So for me personally, that's a red flag. That's a negative of the company. Like I said, I also live in an area where they don't have a lot of customers, but they hired me anyways. They told me that, hey, would probably have a little bit of hard time to get you home, so that's kind of on me too. Now, the griping, that is not on me, so that's why I'm personally putting it down as a negative. I'm also, a negative for me is their field network. Okay, so as big of a company as RTI/TLI, because they are both basically the same thing, they're just ran differently. They're ran as two separate companies. As big as this company is, you would think they would have a much better fuel network. You are limited to Pilots, Flying J's, and Loves, and you literally get the cash price minus the 9 cents that they give you as a discount on your paycheck, on your pay settlement at the end of the pay period every Friday. Unfortunately, with the fuel situation that we have in this country right now, that very much dictates a lot of my expense. The fuel prices at these 3 locations are extremely high. Yes, you can find some in other places, but I could literally go to a Love's or even a Flying J, and literally right across the street, either a Maverick or even a Mr. Gas, which is owned by AM Best, or even TA and Petro, which a little iffy about, but TA and Petro across the street is about 40 to 50 to 60 cents cheaper than where they are forcing you to go, where we are allowed to go. And even at that, because there's Loves out on the turnpike in Kansas, we're not allowed to go there, and that fuel is extremely cheap. So the fuel network here sucks, and they won't tell you that when you're in orientation, and they won't tell you that while you're out, while you're coming into the company. But when you're in, what they will tell you in orientation is the discount you get if you are coming on as a lease purchase. Company drivers, it doesn't freaking matter. You have a fuel system that you have to follow if you want to get your fuel bonus. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. You have to follow their fuel system. So it's the same thing as me though, but if they want me to go to the Loves, but there's a Pilot down the street that's much cheaper, I can go down to the Pilot. Whereas a company driver, if you're told to go to a Loves to get fuel, you have to go to the Loves. So, that's something That's a red flag. That's something that's a negative for me. Like, come on, open up your card. You're a big enough company that you should be able to go to other places. I worked for a much smaller company than you are. Yes, this other company has been around a lot longer than RTI and TLI, but they are able to go through to any of the major truck stops, including Sap Brothers. And Sap Brothers that I have seen since I've been out here on the road with RTI in the places I've gone, about 8 out of 10 times is much, much cheaper than the network that they are wanting us to go through. Now, they will tell you if you're a lease purchase, and they will advise you, well, why don't you get your own credit card? You pay for your fuel on your own, and then send us the receipt. We'll pay the taxes for you on such fuel, but then it won't come out of your settlement because you can pay it pay it out of your settlement. So I guess that's a positive. So I threw in a positive there. Yeah, I mean, sorry, I need a drink. My mouth's dry. Drinking my Dr. Death liquid death. It's supposedly supposed to taste like Dr. Pepper. So, in my opinion, it doesn't, but it's still pretty good for sparkling water. So, another negative for me is, I mean, it's a negative and a positive, I guess. Negative for me is there's not a lot of communication. Like currently I'm on a load. Flat out told my driver manager I'm not going to be able to make it because I don't have the hours on my 70-hour clock, because I ran the shit out of my clock this week. He goes, okay, well, go grab the load anyways. You get recaps. You should be fine. I went and grabbed the load, called him up, told him, hey, told you I don't have the hours. I'm going to be short. And he goes, okay, well, I'm going to try to find you a relay. I'll try to find a way to where we can relay it off of you and give it to somebody else. Cool. Halfway through the day, text me, hey, are you going to make it this point tonight? Yeah, I can try. I can possibly make it there. Okay, well, try your best, and we're still looking for somebody to switch with you. I almost get to that point, so I reach out and I'm like, hey, did we find somebody to relay? What's up? What's the plan? No, we didn't find anybody to relay. Just continue going on. We'll try to find you somebody tomorrow. I've now started today. My hours was 6 hours. A little over 6 hours on my clock. Got down here in the South Dakota. Texted him and asked, hey, are we having this relayed? No relay yet. I'll let you know. All right, cool. 2 hours later, I get a message on the little Geotab or Go driver saying that he's leaving for the day and he's gone for today and the rest of he won't be back until next week on Monday. And if I need have any questions or anything else, make sure I call the person who's covering for him. So I call the person who's covering for him. He has no clue. No clue what's going on. Was never told what's going on with this load. Was never told if they were relaying off of me, if they were going to reschedule it, or anything. So with my 10 and a half years experience of being on the road, almost 11 years now, I have learned from when my driver manager yesterday played the whole did the whole, oh, I'm going to try to find. And then when he never did, I pretty much figured, okay, like I told him yesterday, if you can't find a relay, I'm assuming I'm going to sit on it all weekend, and you'll find me something, and I'll deliver it on Monday, and you'll have to make it up to me and find me something to make sure I can make up my miles for this paycheck. Oh, yeah, that will be the plan. God damn it. Okay, excuse me. had a fly in here and then got it out, and I don't want them in here anymore. So either way, the guy who's covering has no clue what's going on, was never wrapped in on the email saying, hey, we're getting him relayed, hey, we're going to reschedule this, hey, blah, 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 blah. Well, either way, even if I get my recaps, I'm still, tonight at midnight, I'm still going to be 2 to 3 hours short from delivery. And this load's supposed to be in Iowa, eastern Iowa, by 7 a.m. tomorrow. And I am just right outside Rapid City, South Dakota, which is far west, South Dakota. Not going to happen. So I've pretty much come to the realization that the communication, at least from this is just an example, is existent but not existent within this company. So if you come on to RTI, just know that communication is there, but it's not there, if you know what I mean. I will more than likely be sitting on this all weekend, and we'll be delivering it on Monday, which is fine. I mean, it sucks for my miles, but it's fine, because I will do what I got to do. I'm going to take my sweet ass time getting in there, though, because it's only Thursday, and if I don't have to deliver till Monday, and I'm only 750 miles away, going to take my sweet ass time. So, yeah, those are the negatives of the company so far that I've experienced while I've been here. And holy hell, you can definitely tell I'm a driver just by the tan on my arms. Now the positives, as I had stated earlier, the total balance of the truck, that there is a positive out of that. They give you the trucks with zero money down. They don't check your credit score. They don't nothing. They literally give you a truck as long as you have a history of driving trucks, and as long as you have a history of showing that you are safe driving a truck, they will literally give you a truck. Now, I did forget to add this in. You don't get to really choose your truck. You can say you want an International or Freightliner. Those are the only two models that they have here at RTI. You will be able to choose from. They don't really let you choose your actual truck. You get to tell them what model you want, and then they go through their system and they try to find the best fit for you. So, yeah. But like I said, they don't do a credit pull. They don't ask you for money down. They don't nothing. You literally get the truck. So there's a positive. There's also the positive of as long as you prove that you will run your ass off and you are a dependable driver, they do try to bend over backwards to accommodate you, and they do try to make you feel like you are part of a family. My driver manager has more than bent over backwards on a few occasions for me to help me out, and I very much appreciate that. So if you are a good worker and you prove that you're not one of those drivers like I had a driver in my orientation that said, oh yeah, I'll run my ass off, and is barely working, barely getting any miles because he wants to take his sweet time on driving, but wants to bitch and complain, then yeah, you're not going to get the same treatment as somebody like me or some of these other drivers who work our ass off to try. But they do treat you like family. They are very open and honest with you. If you ask, if you know how to ask the questions and when to ask the questions, they will very much be open and honest with you. Chris, my guy that runs over out of Kansas City, runs over the lease with you. He is very open and honest. He flat out tells you, hey, if you have any questions, just call me. I will get the answer for you whether I have it just off the top of my head or if I have to dig deeper and investigate and whatnot. He is amazing on that part. Like I said, my driver manager's bent over backwards quite a few times to help me out. Yeah, I do have to pull some teeth to try to get miles, but that comes into the fact that RTI doesn't have a lot of customers, and they are trying to get new customers, but can't do much when you don't have a lot of customers. So, yeah. Another positive is they pretty much leave you alone while you're out here. Unless you are literally fucking up and setting off your camera all the time, they will leave you alone. Now, that camera is an outward facing camera only. It does have a lens that looks inward. Like for me personally, I put a piece of tape over it. They flat out sit there and say that the camera's deactivated, but just in case, I have a piece of tape over it. But safety and whatnot pretty much leave you alone. As long as you're doing your job, you're not setting off the camera, as long as you're not running over your time. I've only had safety reach out to me twice since I've been here, and that's both times is because I went over my time for the day. So literally just went over of what you could have done differently, so on and so forth, and said, okay, have a good day. Now, if you do touch your phone at all while you're driving and the camera catches you, you're done. There is no, oh, hey, you're gonna get a chance, we'll give you one more chance. No, they're very strict on that. You are done, and rightfully so. We are driving 80,000 pound equipment. In my opinion, an 80,000 pound death machine down the road, and the safety of the public and my own safety is a big concern of mine. So if you're caught driving down the road and you're touching your phone and they catch you, you're done. There is nothing you can say or do. It's over. Other than that, like I said, they leave you alone. You prove that you're a good driver, you prove that you'll run, you prove that you're safe at doing what you're doing, they'll leave you alone, which is nice. You're not micromanaged like a lot of other companies. A lot of companies will micromanage you and be like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, where are you? Hey. RTI doesn't do that, at least in my experience. I don't get bugged unless it's absolutely necessary. And like I said, from safety, I've only been bugged twice while I've been out here on the road. Now, I have been pulled in for a random, because my name came up in the random drug tests. But other than that, I've been left alone. So between the drivers, all of us are very helpful, so that's positive in my opinion. At least the majority of all of us, we all try to get along. What I've seen, every driver I've talked to, we're all very friendly. We're all very open to help one another out. Some of us have each other's personal phones, so we're helping each other out while we're out here on the road. There's people that I've talked to that are super good friends, and they hang out even while on home time. So yeah, there's that, and then there's also, like I said, the honesty. Our payroll ladies, they're on top of it, so that's positive. There's a lot of companies I've worked for where payroll takes their sweet ass time, or they like to play games with you, and they're like, oh, well, I'm sorry, we'll get that fixed next week. Oh, well, I'm sorry, we didn't catch that. Or you sit on hold forever just to get a hold of them. Not here. They will get back. If you can't get a hold of them the first time you call them, they get back a hold of you, back to you as immediately, as quickly as they possibly can. If you have an issue with your paycheck and you have to call, you want to call them and have them walk you through it, they do that. A lot of these companies out here, they don't do that anymore. They literally like, oh, well, you need to talk to your driver manager and they'll walk you through it. That's not our job. Excuse me? Your payroll. That's dealing with my pay. It's your job. Here at RTI, no. Now, payroll is done by the ladies who work for TLI. They're not an RTI employee. employees. They are done by TLI employees, but they have access to both of the companies. So, yeah. Another positive, if you want to come over with RTI, is the APU for if you end up getting a international. There are few and far between Freightliners that I've seen, but who wants a Freightliner? In my opinion, there's way too many Freightliners out on the road, and there is no individuality with them. There's no nothing. They are literally a cookie cutter truck. There's way too many of them. So yeah, from my experiences since I've been here, those are my pros and my cons of being here at RTI. I think pay is okay. It could be better, especially now with the fuel prices going up. I personally think they need to compensate better. But yeah, I mean, like I said, these are from my experiences and my experiences only. Your experience may be different. Like a couple of you have come on because of my videos, and I very much appreciate it. But you guys haven't had the same experience as I have, and I'm sorry you haven't. I know one of you have come on, and you're doing amazing, according to what I've seen, from when I talked to you last. So, yeah, I'm sure there's other positives and negatives, but I'm kind of there's a few off of the top of my head, but there's no point of going over them. I mean, if you really want to know them, just reach out to me. I did finally make an email for my YouTube channel here, so if you have any questions and you want answers to, just ask them here in the comments, or reach out to me on the email. You can find that in my my description area of this video. So yeah, I mean, that's my positives and negatives of the company, at least the ones I'm going to go over for now. Like I said, I have a few others, but nothing too big. It sound more like I'm bitching than anything else, which I don't want to come off as I'm just doing nothing but bitching, because I'm not. I do like the company. They treat me pretty well. I mean, they're better than most companies. Do they have some room for improvement? Oh yeah, most definitely. So, yeah. So, I think I'm going to end this bonus video, and I guess I'll see you guys on my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and all that other great jazz. So, alright guys, see you next time.